Call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. I want to acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the land on which we are meeting is the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene people, and the homeland of the Red River Métis Nation. As a council and a municipality, we will continue to work on moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. I'll ask for motion for the adoption of the minutes, please.
Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held at City Hall on March 24th, 2025 be adopted as circulated.
Moved by Councillor Nichols, seconded by Councillor Doyle. All those in favor? And that is carried. We have no public hearings this evening. We'll move right into Finance, Legislative and Property Committee. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Worship. Finance, Legislative and Property Committee has no report in this part of the meeting.
Thank you. City Planning and Economic Development Committee, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. City Planning and Economic Development Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Community Services Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. Waterworks Committee, Councillor Nichols.
Thank you, Your Worship. Waterworks Committee has nothing to report in this portion of the meeting.
Thank you. Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Your Worship. Transportation has nothing to report.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. Public Safety Committee has nothing to report.
Thank you. We have no items of deferred business. We'll move right into new business. We have endorsement of Councillor Massey for FCM board nomination. That's Finance, Legislative and Property Committee. Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship and colleagues. The issue here today is a resolution to endorse or not endorse Councillor Massey for the FCM Board of Directors. I think all of us know the FCM annual meeting is coming up in Ottawa. So the administrative recommendation is that
Councillor Massey,
yep.
can I just maybe we'll ask Councillor Meyer to put the motion forward on this one.
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
Thank you, Your Worship. And in all due respect to Councillor Massey, it's always a little difficult when you're talking about yourself in the third party. So I do completely understand that. As Councillor Massey did indicate, and being second chair on finance, is to endorse Councillor Massey to put his name forward for the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Board of Directors election. The Federation of Canadian Municipalities does represent the interests of member municipalities on policy and program matters that fall within federal jurisdiction. Although we know Councillor Massey would not go there with just Portage la Prairie's interests in mind, as he does represent the entire region, I can't speak of a better individual that I would find to be able to nominate on that board and take the interests of the region at heart. FCM's annual general meeting is held in conjunction with the annual conference and trade show, which comes from May 29th to June the 1st, followed by the election of FCM Board of Directors. And I think it's safe to say Councillor Massey is currently a board of director on FCM at this point in time. So it's the administrative recommendation, and I so move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie endorse Councillor Joe Massey to stand for election on FCM's Board of Directors for the period starting in June 2025 and ending June 2026, and that Council assumes all costs associated with Councillor Joe Massey attending FCM's Board of Directors meetings.
Moved by Councillor Meyer, seconded by Councillor Nichols. Any questions or comments from anyone? No, I think Councillor Massey, you've done an excellent job so far, and I feel very informed on FCM, so I appreciate that very much. So, all those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Councillor Massey?
Thank you, Your Worship and colleagues. Just a quick note to thank you. I don't take that endorsement lightly. Nothing happens until my council approves the resolution. And so I really appreciate this. It's been an interesting time at FCM with the federal election and everything, but I always go there with, of course, representing all municipalities, but Portage is always very close to my heart and in my brain when we're looking at issues. So thank you for your confidence in me.
Okay, next item of new business, appointment of additional tax sale manager, Finance, Legislative and Property Committee, Councillor Massey.
Thank you, Worship and colleagues. This evening we are looking at an appointment of an additional tax sale manager. The issue is under bylaw 108477. It authorizes the city to appoint a firm or corporation to manage our tax sales. To ensure uninterrupted execution of tax sale processes during extended absences, the appointment of an additional tax sale manager is required. And as you know, Tax Service Incorporated specializes in recovering property tax arrears for Manitoba municipalities, and they manage the whole legal process right from the initial notices to tax sale auctions. And the city has previously appointed Tax Service Incorporated and Donna Zinkyu as tax sale manager. And to prevent delays in tax sale processes due to extended absences, Tax Service Incorporated has requested the appointment of an additional staff member, Tyler Burnside. And this will ensure continuity, avoid administrative disruptions, and maintain the timely recovery of outstanding property taxes. And as Tax Service Incorporated fees are chargeable to delinquent taxpayers, this appointment does not impose any financial burden on the city. It remains a cost-neutral and effective solution for tax recovery operations. So the administrative recommendation, I would move that the Council of the City of Portage la Prairie, pursuant to bylaw number 108477, appoint Tax Service Incorporated to continue managing the recovery of property tax arrears for the City of Portage la Prairie, and that pursuant to bylaw 10-8477, the City of Portage la Prairie, the following individuals be appointed tax sale managers for the City of Portage la Prairie: Donna Zinkyu, Vice President of Tax Service Incorporated, and Tyler Burnside, Associate of Tax Service Incorporated. And I would move that, Your Worship.
Moved by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Meyer. Any questions or comments on this from council? All those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, our next item of new business, award tender for the land application of Biosolids Waterworks Committee. Councillor Nichols.
Thank you, Your Worship. Colleagues and council, what we have in front of us here is from the Waterworks Committee under new business is the award of biosolid land application and the contract for that. So what we're doing is we'd like to award the contract of the 2025 land application of biosolids from the Water Pollution Control Facility as per tender 25 OPS 014. To give you the analysis on this, the tender for the land application of biosolids for the Water Pollution Control Facility was posted on the MERC's website as well as on the city's website, with submissions due March 25th, 2025. This work involves a transport and application of approximately 1,300 dry tons of biosolid material from the biosolid storage tanks. The low-rate anaerobic reactor and the bulk volume fermenter to nearby agricultural land. 8 copies of the tender were requested and 2 bids were received. The bids were evaluated and scored according to qualifications and experience, sustainability factors, and price. Points were awarded as follows. Our first bidder was Assiniboine Injections Limited. Their points were a total of 97.19, and their bid price was $542,750 net of GST. The other submission was from Wessex Incorporated, and their total points were 73.36 with a bid price of $1,448.93 net of GST. As the contract makes no assurances about the total amount of biosolids to be removed, the contractor is paid per dry ton, not a lump sum. And Assiniboine Injections has successfully performed the work for the City of Portage la Prairie for over 25 years. They are familiar with the facility, they have a good rapport with the local farmers, and are accommodating regarding scheduling. The 2025 budget for land application of biosolids is $866,084. Of the 1,300 tons indicated in the contract, 500 tons are to be removed from the old BBF to prepare the system to be decommissioned in 2026. The $208,750 required to remove this additional 500 tons will be recovered from industrial partners as part of the Transfer of Operation Responsibility Agreement signed in 2020 by those involved in the operation of the BFV. The remaining cost to the city is $334,000. So it's the administrative recommendation, and I so move that the council of the city of Portage la Prairie award the contract for the land application of biosolids from the water pollution control facility for 2025 to Assiniboine Injections Limited for a total contract price of up to $542,750 net of GST, and I so move.
Moved by Counselor Nichols, second by Counselor Porter. Any questions or comments on that? All those in favor? And that is carried.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. We have one item of old business, second and third reading of Organizational and Procedure Bylaw 25-8774, Finance, Legislative and Property Committee, Counselor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship and colleagues. We've seen this evening is to review and approve our Organizational and Procedures Bylaw 25-8774, and thereby rescinding Bylaw 19-8688. I won't go through all. We've seen this now twice in committee and at first reading. Just to point out, this is a very important bylaw. This sets up basically how we operate as a council, and administration has recommended some changes, minor changes, and council has gone through this a couple of times, and there's been no further amendments required. So I would move that the Organizational and Procedures Bylaw 25-8774 be given second reading.
Moved by Counselor Massey, seconded by Counselor Meyer. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? That's carried. Counselor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship. And that Organizational and Procedures Bylaw 25-8774 be read a third time, finally passed, signed, and sealed.
Moved by Counselor Massey, seconded by Counselor Meyer. All those in favor? And that is carried. A light agenda tonight, so we will adjourn council at 6:11 p.m. and move right into committee. I'll call committee to order at 6:12 p.m. Finance, Legislative and Property Committee, Counselor Massey.
Thank you, Your Worship. Finance, Legislative and Property Committee has no report under the committee, but I do wish to give a short report as my role at the Hospital Foundation, if that's okay.
Yep, that's great.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a quick update. I know it's been some time maybe since Council's had a bit of an update. I'm very honored to be there representing the city on the Foundation Board. We did have our strategic planning session, one of the first for the Hospital Foundation, on April 3rd, 2025. We are currently working on a rollout plan to share with the public and stakeholders, so it's going to be an exciting time at the Foundation. We have a new hospital coming, so I won't go through some of the priorities at this point, Your Worship, because we want to roll it out to the public as well, but suffice to say, I'm very excited about some of the things that are going to be happening at the Foundation. We did, at the last board meeting, look at equipment approvals, about $1.7 million in equipment approvals for the hospital. Lots of good things, and I think something that I think will, and you'll hear about it, I guess, as it's rolled out, but it was a very good process with the board to look at this, and of course, we are in the middle of the old hospital and going to the new one, so finding projects and equipment is very important to see where the gaps are right now that we can fill. We did have a meeting. The executive director, Tara Pettinger, and myself met with the RHA senior staff, including the acting CEO, Ms. Hewen, and we really talked about the process and having a better process for streamlining requests to the Hospital Foundation. At times it's been a bit, things come from different directions, so we've got commitment to sort of work with them on trying to get a very streamlined process, so when it comes to the board, and they're prepared to come to the board and even explain a lot of the items that they're wanting to. I mean, we're not doctors. A lot of us, you see some equipment that's needed and you really wonder, like, what does this equipment do? So Ms. Hewen was very good at saying, I'm prepared to come out, or one of my staff to go through the list with you so you know what you're voting on. And just the whole tone of the meeting was so good. with the Regional Health Authority, wanting to work with the foundation. And I think that's a credit to the leadership there right now. I was quite impressed at the openness and wanting to work with the foundation. And even she made the comment that, you know, when the foundation calls, I want staff to respond immediately to them. And so that was a really good message. So just a couple of other quick updates, Your Worship. They have a staff payroll program, 50-50 with staff, hospital staff. It has raised so far over $10,500. And a reminder to council, I know we always attend this event, but the dinner and live auction will be on October 24th, Friday, and their online auction will be on Friday, October 10th to the October 24th, the online auction. So that's my report, Your Worship. I'm very pleased, and you'll be hearing a lot more about our strategic plan, but I'm very pleased, and I'm pleased to be there on behalf of the city to sit there on the foundation board. So thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you. Just a little clarification on that, the payroll thing. It's a payroll 50-50 that they've ran through, started it in COVID in Southern Health. And it happens every so often. Like there's been a number of but these people are winning $10,000 themselves each time. And I've asked, and we can't buy tickets. So, yeah. Great. Thank you for that update. Appreciate it. Okay. City Planning and Economic Development Committee, Councillor Meyer.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a couple items on the agenda there, Council. First of all, we know how important infrastructure is in our community, and I know that this council and previous councils have supported it. We also know how important new development is and new infrastructure and new roads. And I guess the good part about that is when it comes across a new road, guess what? It needs a name. So council does have a bylaw in place that gives council, just a minute, I got it here somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. This is a bylaw that was actually last reviewed.
Sorry, it's policy, just for clarification.
I'm sorry?
It's a policy.
What did I say it was?
Bylaw.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
It's
that's
a
okay.
street naming policy.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification,
welcome.
Your Worship. It's a policy that was last reviewed back in 2019. And basically the purpose of the policy is to provide a formal process for selecting names for new streets, roads, or structures, and for renaming existing streets, roads, or structures when required. To establish a criteria which to rate names submitted for the list, and to maintain a list of potential names of Schedule A attached to the policy. The policy goes on and explains exactly the process in doing that. And I'm so proud tonight to be able to bring a report to council that will come to council meeting, next council meeting. Did I just double repeat myself there, I think? Yeah,
It
thank you.
sounded great.
You betcha. And basically what it is, it's to approve the naming right in the new development of the former Agassiz Youth Center. There's a map there for your reference, and of course it's the arterial road that of course goes north right from the lights there. But under the Municipal Act, as I just mentioned, the authority to name roads and post the names on public or private property, the city's street naming policy gives us that authority to do it. There's been a list of suggested names. The one we're going to bring forward for this is for Gladys Cook. Gladys's name has been on the list for several years, and that's why I wanted to reference the previous policy. That's got a number of names on it, but since being recommended by the city's heritage community. They noted her background and accomplishments as follows, and I just wanted to read them here tonight. Gladys settled in Portage in 1950. She worked for Corrections, Alcoholics Anonymous, and on residential school issues. She received a Governor General's Award, the Order of Manitoba, a Canada 125 Medal, a Premier's Award, a YMCA Women of Distinction Award, a Manitoba Medical Association Award, the Order of Rupert's Land, and a National Aboriginal Achievement Award. Further research also revealed that Gladys was a residential school survivor who was born in Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation on August the 18th, 1929, and passed on May 9th, 2009 in Portage la Prairie. She is remembered for her resilience, her dedication to her community, her humanitarian efforts, and as a caring counselor to those suffering from drug and alcohol addiction, among her many other amazing attributes. The location of the street proposed to be named Gladys Cook Way, as we showed on the sketch, is on the former site of the Agassiz Youth Center, which is so appropriate. Gladys's contributions had previously been commemorated by the Gladys Cook Education Center. We want to point out that members of her family have been consulted and feel that the proposed street name would be considered an honor for Gladys. Administration plans to include family members in a street naming ceremony when the road construction is completed, and we anticipate that to happen in 2026. As you know, one of our strategic priorities and aligns with it is to be an inclusive and informed community, and is to take meaningful steps in reconciliation with our Indigenous partners. If Gladys's spirit name, and I'm going to pronounce this correctly, Tapodiwin, Tapodiwin, thank you so much, Madam Mayor, can be noted on the street signing, her Dakota heritage would be acknowledged as well, and this could be done with secondary signage and should not be part of the street's legal name. Just some of the administration stuff. Tapodiwin means she stands with spirits in 4 directions. So council, unless you have any questions, I'll be bringing that forward as a motion at next council meeting for further discussion and either approval or not approval, depending on where we're at. And that's that story.
Thank you.
Any-
Okay.
Okay. While I'm still on there, Madam Mayor, I just would like to turn the mic over to my colleague, Councillor Massey, who will bring up a bit of the chamber meeting notes.
Thank you, Councillor Meyer. Just a quick chamber report. I know we do this every month, but I do want to highlight one thing. On April 3rd, Mayor Knox, myself, our former city manager, Nathan Pito, and our current city manager, Nicole Jakota. Right, Nicole. I'm going to call you Nicole, city manager. We had a meeting at the new Southport office. So that was the first time I got to see the new office at Southport, and it was a beautiful facility, and we were pleased that our former city manager invited us there. One thing I do want to highlight, went through again a lot of issues, but there is an event coming up that I want to highlight, and I know a lot of our council will be there, and the mayor. On April 24th at 11:30, we have the State of the District, which will be at Stride Place, and that's where we will. It's a meeting where we will all be there and opportunity to dialogue with us. The mayor will give her report on our state of our city, and so it's in the rural municipality as well. So it's a great event. I hope businesses really register and others come to it. It's a great event, and I know council will all be there, and we've always enjoyed ourselves there. So April 24th at 11:30. Thank you, Your Worship.
Excellent. Thank you. Councillor Meyer, would you mind, we had the opportunity to talk about, we went to visit the new Cocoa
Cocoa
Plats.
Plats?
Could you give a little?
I sure can. I was going to bring that up under community services, but I can certainly do it now if that's okay with Councillor Espy.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. It was just under yours here. That's why it was, yeah.
We made a change.
Yeah, okay, good to know. Thank you. Excellent. Okay. Community Services Committee, Councillor Espy.
Well, thank you very much, Your Worship. I'd like to start by, through Your Worship, calling upon Councillor Meyer to give us a report on the Cocoa Plats Community Center.
I think, as everybody knows, we've been away for a couple of days, and we spent a lot of time together, so you get a little punchy by this time of the evening, 3 days later. Thank you, Councillor Espy, and thank you, Madam Mayor. For those of council that were there, we were able to have a tour of the Cocoa Plats Community Center, of course, in Cocoa Plats. And I just want to, and even though we're going to do it officially with obviously a ribbon cutting and so on, I just want to really take a quick moment here to thank the Grassroots Committee. Although I've been very fortunate to be a council representative on that committee, I've done nothing. This committee has worked dedicated, tirelessly, and we always talked 5 years ago that this day would come when the build would happen. And if anybody hasn't had the chance and the opportunity to get there, it is not completed yet, but it is so close to completion you can almost taste it. The rink is up, the building is up, and it just looks phenomenal. And so we were fortunate enough to have a tour and kind of see all of the aspects of what it's going to be like. And then when we add in the new trailhead a couple of months later, I think that is just going to be one of Portage la Prairie's greatest assets when it comes to a community center. And even though we know it's named Cocoa Plats Community Center, it's still a community center for the entire community. So once again, congratulations and hats off to, of course, the committee that worked tirelessly, to the city that supported it. And I'm so proud to be able to say that when we stand there and cut that ribbon, it's just one of the better assets that Portage has. So thank you, Madam Mayor, for that. And thank you,
Nice.
Councillor Espy.
Thank you. Councillor Espy.
Thank you, Your Worship. One more item in Community Services, I'd like to call upon, through yourself, the youth counselors to provide us some information on an upcoming volunteer fair.
Great, thank you. Just want to hit the button there so you're green. Yeah.
We, the youth counselors, are organizing a volunteer fair event to happen at the high school PCI on Thursday, April 24th, 2025. The volunteer fair will be for people to get the opportunity to see what kind of like volunteer opportunities there are out there. So that way they can get to like connect with people. And the schedule is that from 12 to 3:30 it'll be open to students because it's during school hours. From 3:30 to 4 there'll be a break because the people at the booths at the volunteer fair might be tired by that point. And then from 4 to 6 it'll be open to the public, so anyone else outside of the school who may want to come in and see what's there can come in. And we have a list of some of the organizations that will be attending. Portage Service for Seniors, Portage Learning and Literacy Center, Salvation Army, Youth for Christ / Youth Unlimited, Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Central Plains, Portage la Prairie Regional Library, the Portage Justice Committee, the Portage Terriers, the Prairie Fusion Arts and Entertainment, Volunteer Manitoba, and United Way.
There will be booths at the multi-purpose room at PCI, and students and people after school will be able to come in and talk to the people, to the volunteer organizations about what opportunities there might be and what they do, stuff like that. We'll also be there, us youth counselors, to talk about our experiences here and to maybe inspire future students to become youth counselors. We would like to extend thanks to Dana Pruden of PCI, as well as the Youth Hub and all of the volunteer organizations for willing to come to this fair and for organizing all of it.
Thank you. Can I ask, is there still time for organizations to sign up if they want to be a part of it?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, excellent. I'd just like to comment I'm not sure who totally spearheaded this, but this was one of, when we did our interviews, this was on Yuvin's priority list of volunteer opportunities in the city. So well done. Excellent.
And that concludes my report, Your Worship.
Thank you. Okay, Waterworks Committee, Councillor Nichols.
Thank you, Your Worship. And through Your Worship and administration, if I could perhaps call on Carly Friesen. I don't have anything specific in my report, but if I could call upon Carly to maybe update us on the recent public water inspection results, if you may, and anything mentionable about the wastewater treatment upgrading quarterly report. Please, Ms. Friesen.
Absolutely. I like to tell you guys what's going on in our water world. So in reference to the annual inspection that Councillor Nichols referenced, once a year the local drinking water officers as well as other officials come and tour every single water treatment facility. They came to site back in March, and they had a couple trainees with them. So there was a few more officers than normal, and they spent a lot of time going through the facility in much detail. And I'm very proud to report that there was no issues reported at all. We had no recommended improvements and no required improvements. So that was really great to see, considering how thorough of an investigation they did. So great job to our water plant people. On the wastewater plant side, we didn't provide a quarterly report last time because we had the other resolution coming to council asking if we could look at or approach the province and the federal government to look at the project in a different way. As of that meeting, we did submit a letter of request and have yet to hear back anything formal. I know that there are conversations happening. So at the plant itself, we do have to keep going to keep the facility functioning. And we were able to upgrade our automation system. So that was kind of a critical point that was reaching failure and giving us some issues. So we are about 3/4 of the way done with that install. We're hoping to start commissioning some of the already installed equipment in the next 2 weeks with the goal to be fully commissioned by the end of May. So that is a huge upgrade that ever since I started at the facility 20 years ago, operators have been asking for this. So it's a long time coming, and the ones that are there are very excited to see it actually happening. And maybe just as a further update on the project, with our last kind of review with the province, we were able to request an extension to our compliance deadline, which would be December 31st of 2030, which was granted. So we're still within our existing license in compliance and still working forward to try to get the nutrient removal aspect in place.
Through your worship, thank you, Ms. Friesen. And folks, as the first part about the inspection of the water is the best tasting water in Western Canada, and this is why. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nichols. Transportation Committee, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Worship. Transportation has nothing to report. I'd maybe just like to bring up the fact that I've been seeing the street sweepers out in the last couple of days, or I shouldn't say the last couple of days, last week. We have our machine out there on the roads, and just like to remind the residents that the city streets are swept on an average of every 3 weeks on the day following solid waste collection. And other than that, we're coming into this spring, summer season. It's really nice, very dusty roads, but everything's looking good. And like I said, if you happen to see something dangerous like potholes or whatever that could wreck your car, or you see something, sidewalks crumbling or whatever, please report that for a service request, and we'll have that looked at. And other than that, if anybody else has got anything to add to it, I welcome that.
Yeah, maybe just to comment on that, I'm not sure if everyone in the public or even in this room notices that on our social media and on our website, our operations department is just doing a little more communication and providing a weekly start update on Monday to talk about what they're up to, where they're going to be, what's happening that week. And I've already had some good feedback on it this week, and it was really, really good information so that the public knows where they are and can anticipate that maybe their street's not getting cleaned today, but it will get cleaned someday. The other thing, Terry, you are the current chair of the landfill board, and I understand that you're going to be hiring.
Yes, Your Worship, that is correct. Our landfill manager right now, Robert Poole, is retiring, and his last day is going to be sometime at the mid-May mark. So we'll be looking for a new landfill manager, and to fill that position, as well as depending on what's all happening there, we might be looking for some seasonal work too. So just remember, if you're looking for something or that might be of interest to you, check our website. They'll be on the employment opportunities, I believe.
Sure.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Public Safety Committee, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Your Worship. Public Safety Committee has nothing to report this evening, but if I may touch on the AMM conference we just returned from.
Sure.
Thank you. So, as Councillor Meyer alluded to, we've all spent the last 3 days together. We're still smiling, so that's a good thing, right? But I just wanted to pick out a couple highlights from the AMM Spring Convention that we just returned from. The first day, you know, the Minister of Municipal and Northern Relations, Minister Glenn Simard, brought some greetings from the province. And then we heard from a speaker named Tyler Smith. So Tyler was the winner of Season 9 of the Amazing Race Canada, and he is also a survivor of the 2018 Humboldt Broncos bus crash. And it was really quite inspiring to listen to him speak. He gave a talk on facilitating conversations around trauma, PTSD, and mental health. And he also spoke about normalizing discussions around mental health, especially men's mental health, and inspiring people to embrace their vulnerabilities, build connections, and create safe spaces for healing and for hope. And so it was really something to listen to him watch. He's 27 years old and one heck of a speaker. So there was also a press conference calling on the federal leaders, especially our next elected prime minister, to commit to fixing our lenient bail system. Mayor Knox, Justice Minister Weeb, Lactabani Reeve, Lauren Schinkel, Brandon Councillor Bruce Lepke, and AMM President Kathy Valentino spoke at the press conference. And something quite profound was said by Reeve Schenkel regarding bail. And he just kind of explained how bail was originally brought forth to protect the accused for the presumption of innocence, right? And how that balance has swung in a very different direction and how it's way off, right? Mayor Knox also spoke about how the prolific offenders are often granted another chance, while the victims of these crimes and their families are left to pick up the pieces and often forgotten about. And I thought that was very impactful, that why should someone else have another chance when they did something harmful, when the victims or the families don't have that second chance? So it was just nice to see that different levels of government are working in solidarity, rural, city, major urban center like Brandon, all working together and just sending a clear message that we are not allowing this to be our new normal. And I think the message was spoken loud and clear. My last takeaway from the conference is our very own, Portage la Prairie's very own Nicole Chikota hosted a breakout session earlier this afternoon on advancing excellence in municipal administration. And I was very proud to sit there in that room as a counselor, knowing that that was my city manager presenting this. So thank you for that, Nicole. Other than that, these events, we do a lot of networking with other representatives from our municipalities across Manitoba. Myself, I was focusing on chatting with those representatives from the municipalities within our central district of the AMM. And the reason for that is because with the support of my council, I've put my name in to run for the director of the central district for AMM. I followed them very closely and I value the work they do in our province. And as a parent and a soon-to-be grandparent, I just want what's best for our province and for our district. And I want the opportunity to lend my voice to the AMM to help lobby for solutions to the issues that our province faces. So the election is June 9th. And once again, Council, I really appreciate your support on this. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Just on a addition to that, I had the opportunity as a city caucus chair to chair my first city's caucus meeting. It's always good to be in that room where we're representing the cities across our province. And I do have to say, it is nice to see that in our term of council that Mayor Gillingham from Winnipeg plays a big role in those meetings too, that sometimes maybe wasn't in the past with Winnipeg. And so it's nice to have that solid voice, and we've got a few issues that we're going to push forward together on, and hopefully we'll see some results for the cities. And we know that cities need to do well for everyone in the province because they are the feeders for our smaller communities. So we want to make sure that we're representing the whole province through that lens. Thank you. Okay. Councillor Massey.
I just want to, thank you, Your Worship. I just want to wish Councillor Doyle good luck. I spent 20 years at the AMM. You have what it takes to be a good director. I want you there. I know you'll do well. And hopefully the Central District is listening. You're a good candidate, so I wish you well. I've seen a lot of directors, and you have what it takes to be on that board.
I totally agree. And they're all tuned in. I checked on that. So yeah, awesome. Thank you. Okay. If nothing else, we will adjourn committee at 6:40 p.m. Thanks, everyone.